case briefs, and so much more. LSData's got what you're looking for.
In 1984, the Missouri Court of Appeals was faced with a critical case. State vs. Nations, focusing on the legal interpretation of knowingly endangering a minor's welfare. The context of the case was unusual. Sandra Nations, the owner of Main Street Disco, was accused and convicted of child endangerment due to a 16-year-old girl discovered dancing provocatively for tips at her establishment. This incident led to an arrest by a police officer, triggering an array of legal proceedings. Initially, Nations had been placed under a conviction for endangering the welfare of a child. However, Missouri's legal system requires an essential element to establish guilt in such cases. The defendant must be proven to have encouraged actions that could harm a minor under 17 and have knowledge of the minor's age. The case took a twist as Nations appealed against the lower court's decision. The Court of Appeals was drawn into the quagmire of establishing Nations' knowledge of the young girl's age. Central to the issue was the question of whether Nations was aware that she was employing a minor, thus intentionally putting her welfare at risk. Upon reviewing the evidence presented, the appellate court overturned the earlier conviction. The court found the state's case lacking. There was insufficient evidence to establish that Nations knew the child's age and intended to cause harm. The definition of knowingly under Missouri law, coupled with the burden of proof lying on the state, proved decisive, leaving gaps in the prosecution's argument that could not be ignored. In conclusion, showing that something might have been done recklessly, the court noted, was not enough to prove it was done knowingly. Thus, in this instance, the state failed to prove that Nations was aware of the child's underage status. The initial judgment was reversed. The court found that the state had not met its burden of proving that Nations knowingly endangered a minor's welfare.
Case briefs, and so much more. LSData's got what you're looking for. Visit lsd.law, elevate your mind. Leave the stress of class